Who was that?
Okay.
Nine.
I will sneak into the side door.
You got to be the best
Okay, I'll let
version
her
of
know.
That's how
yourself.
you become a saint. If you're a saint, only
do a
if
pretty
you
good
become the
prayer.
best version
In
of
the name
you.
of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Haley, your stuff
Bless
is
the
on the
Lord
floor
for
in
these
the
our
front,
guests
just
who
so
are
you
about
know.
to receive from the
Just
mouth
as
of
a
Christ the
reminder.
Lord, amen. May the souls of the faithful depart from
Do
this
you
of
enjoy
gold.
the cookies?
Rest in peace, amen.
I can't spell.
Can anyone do Peter Griffin?
Meh. No, I can't do it.
Rar.
You gotta be
Hi.
the best version
Hello.
of yourself. You see,
No,
James-
it's you have to be the best
recognized
version.
my rar.
No, that's
It's the
not
best
how
version
My
of
rar.
yourself.
That's not how Australian sounds.
I came in
Yes.
and I
No,
rar.
they don't.
Rar x
Have you ever talked to an
woo
Australian
coo woo. Oh, well, you mean my
Have you ever, can you please stop? Have
You
you ever
have to be
talked
the best version of
Can you shut
yourself.
up? Have you ever talked
No.
to an Australian person?
You don't tell me to shut up, you little child.
Why is it so loud?
Tell them to shut up.
You don't hurt
Go.
Ava, make sure you put your thumbs
I love it how I can just say, go, and they do it.
Guys, the show just started. Guys, shut up. Guys, it's 6:45.
Go.
Well, yeah. Shut up. Guys, shut up. Live now. Shut up. Starting. Please be quiet. Stream started. You think 6:45, so it should start. It's 6:45, so it should start. Shut up. Shut up. Stream started. Please be quiet. You're good. I'm always quiet. Probably tell Haley.
That's not that bad. That's pretty good.
Hey guys. And we can hear you. You're pretty loud. That's it. Literally, I'm holding the door too. Okay, so get started. Are you okay? Cole, come back. Thank you.
And now, Edgar Allan Poe goes to elementary school.
Okay, class. Does anyone have anything to share for show and tell? Oh, what did you bring, Eddie? And it had better not be another dead bat.
You're so weird.
Does anybody besides Eddie have something to share? What did you bring, dear?
I brought a box of nails. My father built me a tree house and he used nails just like these.
That's a very nice thing to share.
Are you gonna nail the door closed?
Of course not. Why would I do that?
You know, to keep things out like rats or gorillas or the bubonic plague.
You're so weird.
Who wants to go next? What did you bring?
I brought a shovel.
Are you gonna hit somebody with that?
No, when I went to the beach, I used it to make a sand castle.
If I had a shovel, I'd use it to dig out a deep pit, mix some concrete up, get some bricks, chain somebody to a wall, and I'd brick them in so no one can hear them scream.
Why would you do that?
Revenge?
Eddie's scaring me.
Now, Eddie, remember that little talk we had about frightening the other children? Who wants to go next? What did you bring, dear?
I brought a necklace my grandmother gave me.
It'd be cool if there was a sharp blade on the end of it, and it would be tied to the floor, and the blade would get closer and closer.
This is so weird.
Anyone else? Yes, dear.
I brought a picture of my cat, Frisky.
Is Frisky a black cat?
She's kind of gray.
Is she friendly?
She's very friendly.
Could you walk on a leash?
No, she's a cat, not a dog.
If I had a cat, I'd make it walk on a leash.
You can't do that. It'd strangle it.
Really?
Our cat bit my grandmother.
I think I'd like your cat.
Eddie's being weird again.
Does your cat have both of her eyes?
Of course she does.
Has she ever scratched you?
No, don't look at her.
You want to see my bat?
No!
You're so weird.
When I grow up, I want to be a veterinarian.
You mean you want to eat vegetables?
No, I want to be an animal doctor.
I want to be a movie star.
I want to be an engineer and build things.
I want to be an architect and design houses.
When I grow up, I want to write stories. I want to write a story about a guy during a Spanish Inquisition who gets arrested and thrown into a prison cell, and it's a deep pit with a pendulum swinging back and forth, and it's completely dark. I want to write about a story about people being buried alive, and murders, and heartbeats, and one-eyed cats, and all that cool stuff.
You're spooky.
Okay, I think
He's really weird.
Those stories sound interesting. Well, with the pendulum swinging back and forth, the sharp blade.
I think I'm going to have nightmares.
Me too.
And now, Edgar Allan Poe writes The Raven.
Can't be that hard to write poetry. I mean, if Henry Wadsworth Longfellow could do it, I know I can do it. All right. This poem has to be really classy, and it'll knock Longfellow out of this map. I'll write the 6-line stanza, trochaic to octometer. And I'll write the 6-line stanza, trochaic tetrameter. If I can remember what that is. Now, a rhyme scheme of ABC, BBB. Wow. No one's ever done this before. This is going to be great. What next? I'll write 18 stanzas because 18 is my lucky number. I was 18 years old when I got my poem first published. This poem has to be brooding and melancholy. A poor student who's sitting around his house missing his girlfriend. Okay, I have my plot points, I have my rhyme scheme, I have my dictionary in case I need to use some of those big words. Now all I need to do is write this sucker. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. I'll save that one for later. Try again. Long ago in the galaxy far away. No. How about an old-fashioned approach? Once upon a time. Then what? How about a particular time? Once upon a noontime. No. Once upon a time earlier in the evening. That's closer. Once upon a time that same evening. This just isn't falling into place.
Nevermore.
What? How did a bird get into my house?
Nevermore, nevermore.
Go! Get out of here, you stupid robin!
Robin? I'm a raven, you dummy.
How did you get in my house?
I'm the symbolic expression of a creative soul in the profound state of disillusionment and existential anguish. Nevermore.
Is that supposed to mean something?
I'm trying to help you write your poem.
You're getting feathers on my desk.
Try Once Upon a Midnight Dreary.
Try making friends with my cat. Go, shoo, get out of here. Stupid bird. Once upon a midnight dreary. Then what? Once upon a midnight dreary, a stupid bird got into my house. That's not very good. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary. Now that's good. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary, I was interrupted by a stupid bird. This poetry is hard work.
And now, Edgar Allan Poe sees a psychiatrist.
I should have done this a long time ago. I'm a mess. Horrible childhood, horrible adulthood, nightmares, fantasies, poor social skills.
Mr. Poe, the doctor will see you now. Mr. Poe, ma'am?
Thank you for seeing me.
Of course, I'm always happy to see someone who's crazy. Oops, we're not supposed to use that word. Anyways, Mr. Poe, have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. Take your shoes off. Put your shoes back on. Lay back on the couch there. We're going to talk, and I'm going to take notes. You must tell me everything. Do not hold anything back. I may have to use mind-altering drugs, electroshock treatment, or put you in a straitjacket and lock you in a padded room. Then there's always the frontal lobotomy. We're not supposed to do it anymore, but what the heck? I've always wanted to try it.
Shouldn't you make a diagnosis before you try on treatments?
You could be right. Tell me about your childhood.
Well, my parents died when I was very young.
Did you go to one of those orphanages? You know, hard labor for 16 hours a day, filthy, vermin-infested living conditions, nothing to eat but gruel. Food, glorious food, hot sausage and mustard, while we're in the mood, cold jellies and custard.
It wasn't like that. I was adopted by the Allens, friends of my parents, of course.
Oh, were the Allens scurrilous overseers?
Actually, they were quite nice.
Did they make you eat broccoli?
I don't remember having broccoli.
Well, my parents made me eat broccoli, and let me tell you, that was abuse. I absolutely hate broccoli. Nothing turns my stomach more than broccoli. Except for maybe Brussels sprouts. Did you ever have to eat those nasty little things?
I never had an issue with Brussels sprouts. I liked Mrs. Allen, but she died when I was very young. After that, I went to boarding school.
My childhood was no picnic. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and piano lessons. All I wanted was a little freedom to express myself. I wanted to be a professional bowler, and I could have done it if my parents had supported me. But no, they made me play soccer and join the marching band. It's hard to play piano in the marching band.
After boarding school, I went to the University of Virginia. Although I wasn't really a good student, I only lasted 2 semesters.
Tell me about it. I wanted to go to an Ivy League school so bad I couldn't stand it. But when my parents shot out the books, no. You can go to the state university just like everybody else. If everybody else went to the state university, the Ivy League school would go out of business.
I gambled a lot, and I also joined the military.
You know, I once bought a lottery ticket. Stupidest decision I ever made. I know the chances of winning the lottery are about the same as getting hit in the head with a meteor.
This is a mistake.
I'll tell you what's a mistake. Taking little girl streams and crushing them like fresh oregano on a homemade pizza. But I digress. Tell me about boarding school.
I didn't have lots of friends.
I didn't have a lot of friends either. Of course, I never went to boarding school. I would have done well in boarding school, and I wouldn't have had to see my sister. She can touch the tip of her nose with her tongue.
I had a dream about this talking bird. Show up on my desk and said, "Nevermore."
That's nothing. You want to hear about some of my dreams? We're talking some major Freudian material here. I should probably be institutionalized.
I think I'd better go home.
Glad I could help. You know, the psychiatrist job really doesn't pay all that great. Sure, I've got a vacation house on the coast and a new BMW, but I don't feel successful. Maybe I should charge more money.
And now, the telltale heart.
I'm telling you, I'm perfectly sane. I'm not crazy. You gotta believe me.
Oh, we believe you, right? Is that a donut? That is a donut. I can't believe you'd eat a donut during an interrogation. Sorry, we have a couple of questions. When was the last time you saw your neighbor?
What neighbor? I have lots of neighbors.
The old man. And don't tell me what old man. There's only one old man in your building.
Oh, him!
Yeah, him. When was the last time you saw him?
Yeah. Let me think. I'm trying to remember.
Did you get that donut from the donut shop or out of the vending machine?
Are you kidding? The donut shop.
I wish I had a donut.
Your neighbor said she saw you two together.
What neighbor?
The lady that lives across the hall from you.
Oh, her. Yeah. Yeah, she's crazy.
She seemed pretty sane to me. Was it a chocolate donut?
I'm wondering how a guy can go into his apartment and then disappear. It was a raspberry cream filled donut.
Well, I'm sure these kinds of things happens all the time. I mean, don't you have unsolved cases with people going into their apartments and never seen again? I'm pretty sure you'd be used to that by now.
Yeah, we have had cases like this in the past. A guy goes into an apartment and then disappears. But there's always another guy. Like you. I don't really care for the raspberry cream.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't care for the raspberry cream. Is that so difficult to understand?
What my partner means is that people can get on your nerves. Like my Uncle Harry. He used to smack us lips when he ate. Drove us all nuts.
And my Aunt Hilda, she had this laugh that would drive you up a wall. It was like a hyena on steroids. Hee! One time, I had to tell her to shut up. It's not a nice thing to hear from your 5-year-old niece.
Look, guys, I'm sorry you have family issues, but this has nothing to do with me.
Oh, I think it has everything to do with you. You think you're a smart guy, don't you?
Well, I am above average in intelligence.
You think the rules apply to everybody but you.
I never said that.
You think you can get away with anything.
I have nothing to hide.
You have donut breath.
Sorry.
What was your relationship with the old man?
Good. We talked about the weather.
Did you two have some kind of fight?
We were on good terms.
You know, I think he is innocent.
Really? I think he's guilty.
Why would I kill an old man? The old guy probably came home, realized he was out of oatmeal, and decided to use the fire escape. So what if it's 12 stories above the street? The exercise is good for him. Yeah, that's what happened. He climbed out his window and was kidnapped by a kidnapper, or fell into a garbage can or storm drain, or was abducted by extraterrestrials.
That sounds reasonable.
I think it sounds kind of weird.
Weird, but reasonable. Just because no one's ever proved that extraterrestrials don't exist, don't mean they don't.
Maybe he was a mobster in the witness protection program, and he was recognized by one of his old bosses. He could have been pairing in a pair of concrete bedroom slippers and tossed in the river.
I've seen that happen on TV.
Maybe the mobsters took him into the slaughterhouse and chopped him up into tiny little pieces.
Do you say chopped him up? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they chopped him up and then they hid his pieces all over town.
Yeah, and then they took him into the woods and buried him.
Or out in the ocean, they fed him to the fishes.
What's that noise? I can hear it. It's a heartbeat. It's getting loud.
Oh, sorry. That's my phone. Yeah, what up? It's guys from the crime scene. They don't think the window's been open. There goes our theory about the fire escape.
It's still beating. It's getting louder than ever.
Oh, I got a call. Hello? Yeah, I'll stop by the store on my way home. Your mother's coming over for dinner. That's all I need.
It's still beating. I can hear it. It couldn't stop. It wouldn't stop. Okay. I went into his house, into his apartment while he was fell asleep, and I did it, okay? I carved him up in little pieces and hid him under the floorboards.
Did you check inside the freezer?
I don't like broccoli.
I did it, okay? I used Mr. Clean, but I could still hear the heartbeat.
Okay, I'm glad the place smells clean. What about in the bathtub?
I don't care if your mother likes broccoli. I hate it!
I did it, okay? I'm crazy. I'm insane. I just committed a terrible crime.
Yeah, check in all the closets. And don't forget to look under the bed.
Why do we have to have so much broccoli? It's like eating little trees!
Did you hear me? I'm crazy. I'm ready to face the jury of my peers and accept my punishment.
I've gotta go. I don't think we have anything on this guy.
Okay, you're free to go.
Did you not hear what I just said?
No, I was on the phone.
Well, did anyone look under the floorboards in the old guy's apartment?
Why would they do that?
Okay. Well, keep up the good work.
I'll race you to the donut shop.
And now, Edgar Allan Poe goes to the Waffle House.
All right. What you want?
Are your waffles any good?
They're waffles. How good do waffles have to be?
I guess I'll have coffee.
Terrific. What else can I get you?
I'm not really hungry.
Then why did you come in here?
I'm frustrated. I'm a poet, okay? I'm the editor of a really classy literary magazine.
So, what's your problem?
I just don't receive the recognition I deserve. There's this guy, okay? He's a very famous guy. The whole country thinks he's hot stuff, okay? I'm twice the poet he is. It's a New England thing. People from up there are stuck up.
Who is this writer? Maybe I've heard of him.
I don't think so. You're just a waitress.
I am a server, and just because I work 5 to 9 and don't get paid squat, don't mean I ain't literate. Now tell me who this writer is, or I'm gonna turn your head into a giant pancake!
Okay. His name is Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and he's a real prima donna.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
You have?
As much as it may surprise you, I've heard of Henry Wadsworth Longfellow.
I can't believe this.
So, you gonna order something, or are you just gonna take up space?
I've lost my appetite.
Allow me to word it differently. Are you gonna order something, or are you gonna get out?
I guess I'll have waffles.
Hey, Eddie.
Oh, no.
Fancy running into you here at the Waffle House. How you been? Ever finished working on that great poem of yours?
I'm doing a little rewrite at the moment.
You ever write anything else?
Why, yes, I've written a number of short stories.
What good are short stories? They don't rhyme.
I've written poetry.
I'm still teaching at Harvard and writing a little poetry every now and then.
Hi there, Mr. Longfellow. How are you today?
Very good, thank you. And please, call me Hank.
You know him?
Of course I know him. He eats her all the time.
I can't believe this.
I'll have a slam dunk breakfast with a hash brown potato and a decaf coffee, please.
Coming right up.
Look, Eddie.
Please don't call me Eddie. My name is Edgar.
Sorry, I'm just trying to give a fellow poet a little boost up.
You consider me a fellow poet?
Well, of course. You wrote that wonderful poem in the style of Lord Byron when you were just 18 years old.
I was 18, yes. But lately, I have been more interested in American Gothic story. You see, dark tales of disillusionment and mysterious forces of imminent death.
That's, interesting. I tell my students at Harvard that great writing should inspire us to the greater plateaus of greatness in a world that often accepts the lesser than great and substitutes it for what truly is great.
Do you realize how many times you use the word great?
I'm thinking about writing a poem about Hiawatha. A poem so great it'll be read and studied for generations and will become synonymous for the very founding of this great nation. Oh, and Disney will make it into a cool movie.
I wrote a story about being buried alive.
That's, interesting.
You know, Hank, I just remembered I have an important appointment.
Really? Are you still seeing a psychiatrist?
No. I'll see you around.
Where'd your friend go?
He ain't my friend.
The Cask of Amontillado.
Welcome to the Barry Binger Show. A man says his friend chained him to a wall and tried to bury him alive. Let's hear the story. First, let's meet Mr. Fortunato, a guy with your reputation for insults.
Thanks, Barry. Say, is that a cheap toupee, or did someone style your hair with bacon grease? That's some jacket. Does eBay have a category for tacky clothes? You know, the audience looks familiar. I think I saw their faces on a poster in the post office with the caption, "Wanted by the FBI."
I think we get the point, Mr. Fortunato.
Please, call me Buddy.
Okay, Buddy.
And I'll call you Mr. Tacky.
That's enough, Buddy. What can you tell us about this alleged attack?
There was nothing alleged about it. This guy wanted to show me something in his wine cellar. And the next thing I know, I'm chained to the wall, and he's mixing up a vat of concrete and hauling in a load of bricks.
So how were you lured into his wine cellar in the first place?
This guy wanted to show me a very rare Amontillado.
What's that? One of them little animals with the shells?
It's an expensive brand of clothes and cologne.
You're all wrong. It's an Italian sports car.
You're thinking of Armadillo, you're thinking of Armati, and you're not thinking at all. Amontillado is a very rare sherry.
That's a song by the Beach Boys.
Your studio audience is as dumb as a sack of rocks.
You're right, Buddy. Now let's meet the alleged perpetrator, Mr. Montresor.
Call me Monty.
Okay, Monty. You seem like a nice enough person. How did Buddy end up in your wine cellar?
He tricked me, that slimy little weasel.
Actually, Buddy's right. I tricked him.
But the question is, why?
I wanted to chain him to a wall and listen to him scream as I encased him in a concrete tomb. And let me tell you, he screamed.
So, what prompted you to want to encase him in a concrete tomb in the first place?
He insulted me.
Well, that's easy enough to believe, but you can't go around encasing everyone who insults you in concrete tombs.
Why not? I have a very large wine cellar. And it's getting smaller.
Okay, you must really like Amontillado.
Actually, I like basements. And your basement wasn't nothing to write home about. I've seen better basements in the stockyards.
So, do we have any questions from our audience?
Yeah, how'd you get out of that tomb thing?
Well, it wasn't easy. When Monty chained me up, he forgot to use a padlock. And he thought he was using the quick-drying cement, when in reality, it was really the slow kind, and he didn't mix it right. You can't get anything right, can't you, Monty? You know what you are? A loser. Sorry, Monty. We can't start a fight until after the show ends.
Did you go to the police?
Of course I did, you dimwit. They wanted to see the basement. But by the time they got there, all the evidence was gone. Monty had turned his wine cellar into a bonus room with a home theater.
Are you going to do him in again? Because I can help.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
So the question is, should Buddy apologize to Monty for all the insults, or should Monty apologize to Buddy for trying to encase him in a concrete tomb?
That's a no-brainer!
He deserves to be chained to a wall.
That's our show. Tune in tomorrow for a special encore performance of the Barry Binger Show, Tarantulas and the People Who Love Them.
And now, Edgar Allan Poe relaxing at home.
Let's try this again. Once upon a time, there were 3 little bears. No. That's already been taken. Once upon a midnight dreary. What rhymes with dreary? Well, I thought about Lake Erie. Why was I thinking about Lake Erie? Yeah. I wonder if there's anything good on TV. Oh, this stupid remote.
Tonight, on public television, the biography of Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, American poet.
Oh, no.
The old movie channel proudly presents All Day Annie.
I don't think so.
Tonight on the cooking show, I'll be showing you 50 exciting ways to make toast.
You can't be serious.
Socodolacus of silica, Philocrepus is now only $5.99 plus shipping and handling.
No.
This just in from Headline News. An important government study concludes that if you have trouble seeing, you should go to an eye doctor.
Good grief.
Tonight, the History Channel presents a special 10-part series, The Evolution of Shoes.
Is there nothing good on TV?
Next on the Discovery Channel, your friend, the houseplant.
No.
For just $5 a day, you can save millions of pet rocks from extinction.
What?
And now on Animal Planet, Insect Rescue.
Forget it.
Ding dong.
Hello, my name is Brother Phil, and this is Brother John.
Ugh. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I thought about Lake Erie, I spilled some juice upon my floor. While I was nearly napping, suddenly there was a clapping. Yapping at my chamber door. It's probably that stupid bird, I muttered. Yapping at my chamber door. Who else could it be? One verse down, 17 more to go.
Ding dong.
Now what?
You call a plumber.
No,
Is this the Henry David Thoreau residence?
no, he lives in a shack, and I don't think he has indoor plumbing.
Isn't he famous or something?
I suppose.
Was he a president of the United States?
No, he's a writer.
Like that guy Longfellow. Now there's a good writer.
I'm a writer. Maybe you've heard of me.
What's your name?
Edgar Allan Poe.
The guy that writes that creepy horror stuff?
Yes! Finally someone who's known me.
Man, you're sick. If you ever need a plumber, call somebody else.
And now, the Mask of Red Death.
I'm reporting live from outside the castle of Prince Prospero, where police are trying to find out what is going on. Over a week ago, the prince invited a close group of friends inside the castle in an attempt to avoid the dreaded Red Death. Apparently, he was hosting a big Hollywood-style party when the last contact was made with the outside world. I'm with one of the prince's friends. What can you tell me about your friend, the prince?
Well, I got invited to this big party, wear a mask and avoid a horrible death. I showed up 5 minutes late and he closed the door shut. Not only did he close it, but he nailed it shut. That guy's not my friend.
Was he trying to shield his friends from the dreaded Red Death?
Sure. Wouldn't you if you had that nice big castle? We're all probably gonna die a horrible, agonizing death from a devastating pandemic while he's at a pool party.
Well, the pandemic seems to be ending, but police like to know what's going on.
So would I. My boyfriend's in that castle, or should I say my ex-boyfriend. And if I don't die a horrible death from infected flea bites, he's gonna wish I had.
Maybe we can get a look with the police on this. Lieutenant?
Actually, I'm a captain.
Whatever. What can get your take on the situation?
Well, we got a complaint from some people who weren't invited to this party. Isn't that just like some people? We're out here dealing with a deadly disease and they're acting like it's the Renaissance. Kinda just makes you sick. Speaking of sick, what are the first signs of the Red Death?
Black pustules under the skin.
Is that one? Is that a black pustule?
I think that's a mole.
Oh, good. I'm going to the castle door. We're going inside as soon as we get a warrant.
Well, that's the way the things look outside the castle. I wish we can get a look inside.
Hey, Prince, this sure is a great party. I bet those poor saps outside wish they in here. We've got a great food, great band, and we're locked away from the bubonic plague.
Just remember, in this town, it pays to know the right people.
So when do you think it'll be safe to go back outside again? I kind of forgot to feed my cat.
Whoa! I'm not opening those doors until I know the coast is clear.
So how will you know the coast is clear?
Haven't quite figured that one out yet.
I've never been to a party that lasted years before.
Welcome to the 14th century, baby! Woo!
Hey, who's that guy?
I don't know. He doesn't look like anybody I invited. Hey! Who are you? And why are you at my party? You know how to talk.
The guy's kind of creeping me out.
Look, I don't know who you are or how you got in here, but we're taking you to the top of the castle and throwing you into the moat. I feel a sudden fever come on. Am I having an allergic reaction?
Hey, weren't you in that music hole, the Phantom in the Opera? Nah, that must have been someone else. I have a sudden urge to fall onto the floor and die a horrible death. Oh well, it was a nice party until everyone croaked.
Wow, it looks like the Red Death got everybody in here.
I'm kind of glad I missed the big party.
Okay, you folks need to move along. We have a crime scene here.
Do you think it was the Red Death?
Probably.
Do you think it's contagious?
Probably.
I'm thinking that it's a good idea to just close the door and nail it shut on from the outside, but that's just my idea.
You got my vote.
What about the crime scene, Lieutenant?
That's Captain and, what crime scene? The flames of the tripods expired, and darkness and decay and the Red Death held illimitable dominion over all. And now, the editor.
Dear Mrs. Smith, thank you for submitting your excellent story, The Black Cat, to our literary magazine. Your story shows great command of language, your plot points are clear and defined, and your themes and imagery of insanity and imminent death are fascinating. I couldn't stop reading until the end. I was literally terrified out of my wits. You have truly redefined the Gothic story in an American genre. Enclosed, you will find a check. Sincerely, Ralph Emerson, Senior Editor of the Really Great Literary Magazine. Dear Mr. Poe, thank you for submitting your sorry story, The Black Dog, to our literary magazine. Your story shows little command of language. Your plot points are muddy as swamp water, and your themes and imagery of sanity and the joy of living couldn't be duller. I had to make myself read it. I was literally bored out of my mind. I cannot imagine what makes you think you could ever be a writer. We will not be publishing your story or anything else you send us. Sincerely, Ralph Emerson, Senior Editor of the Really Great Literary Magazine. I wonder if I got those two manuscripts mixed up. Oh well, too late now.
It's time for the fall of the House of Usher.
Okay, Eddie, sell me a movie.
I have a perfect horror story called The Fall of the House of Usher.
You mean like the guy that shows you where to sit at a baseball game?
No, as in Usher, as in a prominent family.
You gotta do something about that last name.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly.
Anyway, it's a dull, dark, and soundless day. We see a gloomy old house with a crack in the wall. We see decaying trees and a murky pond. The house is kind of falling in. So, our main narrator is making his way to the house to find his childhood friend, Roderick.
Why?
Yeah, why?
I guess because Roderick wanted to see him, so after the credits roll and yada yada, our narrator winds his way in a dark, through a maze of the dark and mysterious rooms, of course, and until he finds Roderick.
Roderick! Roderick! Roderick, my childhood friend, I finally found you. Say, this place could use some sprucing up. Ever thought about calling one of those home improvement crews from the House and Garden channel?
My old friend, thank you for coming. I'm physically and emotionally ill.
I think I can help you with that. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow.
I wish you wouldn't do that.
Okay, so, what's up?
I have a terrible I have a terrible secret to disclose.
Okay.
My family has lived in this house for generations, but only one member of each generation has survived.
So are you looking for somebody to marry? Because, no offense, you're not going to attract anyone looking like Dracula. Actually, Dracula hasn't been written yet.
I have the curse of the Ushers.
That can't be good.
I have a twin sister named Madeline.
You have a twin sister? What's she like?
She's dying. In fact, she might already be dead. Let's go look.
Man, she looks worse than you look.
She's dead.
Okay, this is getting a little weird.
Please, you've got to help me.
Help you what?
Take her to the family crypt, which is conveniently located in the basement of this house.
You have a graveyard in your basement? Is that even legal?
It is a crypt, and it is perfectly legal. This is the mid-19th centuries. You grab her feet.
Okay, but you're going to owe me big.
So, they take Madeline to a crypt below the house and bury her body in a tomb.
Are you sure she was dead?
I'm positive. Well, I'm mostly positive. I'm kind of tired. I think I'll call it a day. See you in the morning.
Something strange is going on here, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe I need a good night's sleep. Next time Roderick wants to get together, we'll go to my place.
Wake up, wake up!
Okay, what's going on? What's going on?
Something is terribly wrong.
What do you mean?
I'm afraid we maybe have buried Madeline alive.
That's silly. Why would you think that?
Listen!
Roderick! If I ever get out of here, I'm gonna wring your skinny neck!
She wants to kill us.
Us? As in me? Madeline, hi. It's Roger. I'm Roderick's friend. Well, his former friend. I can never be friends with a guy who tried to bury his sister alive. I think I should go.
Our narrator escapes, and he looks back just in time to see the house crumble to the ground.
And that's it.
That's it. That's all. Thank you. You may go now.
What'd you think?
I'll tell you, Eddie, I got some problems with your story.
Yeah, some big problems.
But I think we can work through them if you're willing to do a little rewrite.
A little rewrite would help.
What kind of rewrite?
First of all, the plot stinks.
What?
She said the plot stinks.
It's a gothic tale of terror.
No, it's a mess. Let's lighten it up a little bit. First, we move the whole thing to the beach. We'll get Adam Sandler to play the guy in the house, and we'll name him Chris. And we'll have the sister be in love with a lifeguard named Benny.
I like it better already. What you think, Eddie?
Not much.
Whatever. Then the guy gets arrested for assaulting an old lady, only it's a mistake. And then a spaceship lands and everyone lives happily ever after.
Now that's a lot tighter.
You can't be serious.
That's our offer, Eddie. Give us a stupid comedy for some big name actors and you've sold yourself a screenplay. We'll call it The Fall of the House of Chris. What'd you think?
I was thinking more on the lines of Dumber and Dumbest, or Dumbest and Even More Dumb.
Love it. Get back to us as soon as you finish. Let's go to lunch.
We just got back from lunch.
Let's go to lunch again.
Time for fast food.
Welcome to Taco King. May I take your order?
Yeah, can I get a number 11 combo with extra salsa, extra lettuce, extra tomatoes, extra cheese sauce, and a large diet soda?
Are you trying to bring on the world's fastest heart attack?
Huh?
Never mind. 850, pull around the first window.
Hey, Eddie, is that you?
Maybe. Who are you?
It's me, your agent. Let me tell ya, it wasn't easy to track you down. So, how long have you been working at Taco King?
Ever since I lost my job at that magazine. I hope you have some good news for me.
Well, I have some good news and I have some bad news. The bad news is nobody wants to hire you because you're weird and depressing.
Oh. Okay. Well, what's the good news?
I have a coupon for a free drink. Let me change my order to number 9 with a medium amontillado.
We don't serve Amontillado.
I know. I was just joking with you. I'll have a coffee, black, with cream and sugar.
2:30. Pull around the first window.
Hey, Eddie, you never really paid me back for that poker game last week.
Never mind. Your order's free. Pull around the first window. Welcome to Taco King. May I take your order?
Eddie, is that you? It's me, Henry David Thoreau. Davy.
Davy? I thought you were living in a shack in the woods, writing nonfiction.
Well, I am. But then I got a craving for some nachos. I'm gonna leave that part out of my book. I'm thinking on calling it Walden, after the pond. What do you think?
A book about living in a shack on a pond.
Why not? I mean, if you could get published, anyone can.
You want to drink with those nachos?
Just nachos.
I hope you choke. 350. Pull around the first window. Welcome to Taco King. May I take your order?
Yeah, I'll have the taco supreme with extra onions.
Are you trying to bring on the top 10's world's worst breath?
Hey, are you some kind of smart guy or something?
As a matter of fact, I am a smart guy. I had a good education. I joined the military. I practically invented American Gothic literature. And I'm stuck working in a taco joint in the middle of the night. Where's the justice in that?
Whoa, man. Chill. I just want a taco supreme with extra onions. I don't want your audio biography.
You want my autobiography? I'll give you my autobiography. I was an orphan. My wife died of a premature death. I have horrible nightmares. I got kicked out of the military. I can't control my impulse to gamble. Sometimes I get so depressed I can't stand it.
Whoa, that's a shame. Hey, I'll make it easy for you. I'll have the taco supreme without the extra onions.
Okay. I think you like it better that way. $2.75. Pull them out the first window. Welcome to Taco King. May I take your order?
Is that Eddie Poe?
That voice sounds familiar. Who wants to know?
Miss Crumbly, I taught language arts.
The teacher who said I'd never become a writer. You have me confused with somebody else. My name is Henry Longfellow.
Oh, then I'll have a number 7 combination, and don't forget the lettuce.
Lettuce? You've ruined my life, and all you can think about is lettuce? Actually, scratch that. My life is already ruined, but you ruined it more, you old bat.
That is Eddie Poe. Well, I'm not going to buy a quesadilla from you, you weirdo.
How could anyone take a story like Macbeth and make it boring? You did it, lady. You ruined literature for me. You know what? One of these days, high school students will be reading my poetry and my short stories by me, Edgar Allan Poe, and no one will remember you even existed.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and listen to this.
Eddie.
Oh, the manager. I didn't see you there.
Eddie, I'm not so sure you're Taco King material.
You mean I'm not a corn tortilla?
I mean you're rude to customers.
They're not customers. They're just nightmares from my past.
I'm sorry, Eddie, but I think it's time for you to find a new line of work. It's time to turn in your Taco King crown. I hope you find happiness, Eddie, or at least less misery.
I'm taking this with me.
Edgar Allan Poe became one of the most influential writers of the 19th century.
Poe was a tortured soul whose writing has tortured high school students who had to read him for a century and a half.
Where would we be today without Poe?
Probably a lot better off.
That's not very nice. Poe invented the American short story.
For people too lazy to read novels.
He brought nightmares to life. He made horror stories really horrifying.
And he used a lot of big words.
He was a great American poet.
You have to have an encyclopedia and a dictionary to read him.
Poe lived an unhappy life full of excess and unfulfilled ambition.
The moral of the story is don't become a famous writer.
I think you're wrong there. Don't become a famous writer with an unhappy life full of excess and unfulfilled ambition.
Unless you want to be like Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes, but he was successful after he died.
To quote the poet, all that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream.
Is that supposed to mean something?
It means that reality as we know it might not even be reality at all, but a dream or a nightmare. And the real reality is something we're dreaming. At least I think that's what it means.
That's pretty good. And there's not a whole lot big words in it.
We end with the most famous line ever uttered by a bird.
You mean Polly wants a cracker?
The second most famous line ever uttered by a bird.
Nevermore!